and gentlemen, welcome to Miami-Dade Expressway's State Road 836 Proposed Toll Rate Public Review webcast. We have scheduled this webinar in order to provide information on the proposed lower rate for State Road 836 mainline gantries to receive questions and comments. Mario Diaz, I am MDX's Public Information Officer. Your host during this webinar. In the room to answer questions once the presentation is completed is Stephen Andriuk, Director of Toll Operations, Chief Financial Officer, Juan, Assistant Director of Engineering, and Ted, Public Information Officer. Our style meeting and is being recorded. The recorded presentation will be made available on MDX's website and through social media outlets. Questions received during the webinar will be collected and addressed at the end of the presentation as time allows. All comments will be collected and provided to MDX boards of directors for their consideration. If cannot be read and answered during the webinar, we acknowledge and respond after the meeting via email. Should you submit a comment, a written via email, please do that at publiccom@mdxway.com or use mail to MDX, attention Mario Diaz, at 3790 Northwest 213, Miami, Florida 33142. Is an agency of the state created by the state legislature and the county commission to assure that all tolls collected on the MDX system stay within Miami-Dade County and are reinvested within the expressway system. MDX maintains, operates, and improves the following expressways: State Road 112, the Airport Expressway; State Road 36, the Dolphin Expressway; State Road 874, Don Shula Expressway; State Road 878, Snapper Creek Expressway; and State Road 24, the Glen Parkway. Governed by 13 Board of Directors appointed by the Governor and County Commission. The Department of Transportation Secretary for District 6 is also a member of the board. Decisions made on a toll rate, the MDX Board of Directors and MDX toll policy and public involvement policies require that the public review be held to provide information to the public and obtain public comment with respect to the decision, then established via resolution after the public hearing. For this purpose, MDX has scheduled two webinars today, June 10th, one in English and one in Spanish, as well as a public review meeting on June 11th here at MDX headquarters from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. The same information presented here will be placed on MDX's website to inform and receive comments from the public on toll changes that MDX is proposing for State Road 836. On March 13, after 5 public reviews and a public hearing, the board approved a new toll rate for State Road 836 of 70 cents per line gantry and 30 cents per ramp gantry. Also part of this approval is 3-point locations. Point location is bidirectional, meaning to be collected east and west. These locations will be near Northwest 97th Avenue, Northwest 57th Avenue, and near North 1917th Avenue. On April 30th, 2013, during a regular monthly MDX board meeting, a motion was made to take to the public for review and input a lower proposed toll rate on State Road 836 of 60 cents. 2013, after these public reviews, a public hearing will take place at MDX headquarters at 4 p.m. as it has been duly advertised. For more, please visit our website at www.mdxway.com. This presentation will cover the impact of the revenue collected and the future projects that MDX can deliver with a change in toll rate. The MDX board approved an open road tolling master plan to change the collection system to all electronic system on its 5 expressways. In 2010, 3 of the 5 expressways, which are State Road 924, State Road 874, and State Road 878, were converted. MDX's goal is to make the commute for all its users safer and more efficient, while making payment of tolls fair and equitable. To accomplish this, all drivers will be paying for the segment of the road that they use. Only 55% of all drivers on the MDX system pay a toll. In the summer of 2014, State 112 and State Road 836 will all go through the conversion to an all-electronic toll collection. These will allow MDX to keep up with the current demand and planning and fear of future needed improvements. March 19th for the entries is 70 cents. As you can see here on this slide, the 3 main lines are highlighted. Again, from west to east, those locations are near 97th Avenue, near 5th Avenue, and near 5th Avenue. Tolls would be collected both eastbound and westbound. On the system that would be added would be cents. The State Road 836 Dolphin Extension to northwest 137th Avenue. Rate, the 3 entries would be lower cents to 60 cents. As the current slide under the proposal, the ramp gantries would remain at 30 cents and would change. Its primary source of revenue is the tolls collected on its 5 expressways. MDX does not receive federal funds or money from state transportation funds. It does not receive any gas tax, prop tax, fees, or transit tax. Only collected on its expressways are used to fund maintenance, improvements, expansion of the MDX system. It borrows money by selling bonds and uses toll revenue as collateral, similar to a home mortgage loan, where collateral secures the loan until paid in approximately a 30-year period. The additional net revenues to be collected are $53 million annually under the current 70-cent toll rate. Under the proposed 60-cent toll rate, an additional $41 million will be collected annually. These will be committed to projects which will be displayed in the following slides. State Road 874 ramp connector to southwest 128th Street will provide an alternative connection to areas west of the Turnpike and to local roadways, providing access to and from State Road 874. State Road 86 capacity improvements from northwest 57th Avenue to northwest 17th Avenue would help relieve congestion and enhance safety along State Road 836. Those improvements would provide additional capacity within the project limits, as well as improvements to the interchanges at northwest 57th Avenue, northwest 42nd Avenue, and 27th Avenue. Create one of the most congested interchanges in our county's highway system, a new northbound entrance ramp to I-95 from eastbound State 836 would be constructed on the right of the expressway. Their improvements to State Road 836 and the northwest 87th Avenue interchange will be implemented. A new westbound entrance and exit ramp at northwest 84th Avenue would help decongest the northwest 87th Avenue interchange at State Road 836. Extending State Road 924 to the west would provide a direct connection between the Turnpike, I-5, State Road 924 and Expressway. Such would provide improved east-west access and mobility throughout the northwestern section of Miami-Dade County. The project and the provides are all funded under the 70-cent option. With its toll rate, 4 projects would be removed from the work program, considered at a later date. The 4 to be removed from the work program would be the State Road 836 interchange improvements at Northwest 87th Avenue, the design right-of-way of State 924 to the Turnpike. Next, the Connect 4 study, the ORT system upgrades along State Road 874, 78, and 924. MDX collected approximately $122.5 million from tolls in fiscal year 2012. The revenue committed to 65% to pay the cost of projects that have been completed or underway, plus the cost of borrowing the money to fund them. 2% pays for the operation of the expressway, including the traffic management center and the road ranger services. 6% pays for the maintenance of the 5 expressways. 1% pays for the administration and management of the work program. The impact of this investment between 2000 and 2012 is $1.2 billion invested in local improvements and an estimated 12,600 jobs created to date. It also means an average of 30% of all contracts awarded have to small and local businesses. Lane miles of added capacity has been added to the MDX system. Of all system has been resurfaced. That's 191 out of 220 lane miles have been repaved. Intelligent transportation system that gathers information to emergency vehicles to incidents has also been installed throughout the county. Overall mobility of the system has been improved throughout the county as well. What happens if we do nothing? When there are more cars than the road can handle, which results in slower moving traffic, a longer travel time, and more fuel consumption. One use the MDX highway system per this Transportation Institute conducts a yearly study. It measures the congestion in a year throughout the United States. In 2011, Miami was number 1 in congestion throughout the state of Florida. Number 11 in the nation in 2010. With our county for 2011, completed 47 hours of delay per traveler per year. It also did a waste of 2 gallons per traveler per year. To approximately $993 of extra costs to each auto commuter per year. Are not made to meet your traffic demands. So congestion will go up proportionately for every traveler. Expect traffic on its system to increase by 25% by 2020. Now, some projects that MDX has delivered to date are the State 36 Dolphin Expressway with ramps to the Turnpike extension and to 137th Avenue. In 2007, this project was delivered and added 3.1 miles of 4-lane extension to towards 137th Avenue. This project has also helped reduce commuting times by approximately 40%. And it was added in the east direction of State Road 836 from Northwest 57th Avenue to Northwest 42nd Avenue. The auxiliary lane improved traffic flow in this area by eliminating the bottleneck that occurred near Northwest 57th Avenue. This was open to traffic in 2011. In 2004, MDX completed and opened a new westbound exit ramp to Okeechobee Road to ease traffic on State Road 112. The additional auxiliary lane to Okeechobee Road, increasing the overall capacity of the exit ramp and significantly reducing congestion in the area. The 74 Don Shula mainline improvements and reconstruction of the Killian Parkway. Additional lane northbound and southbound between Southwest 117th Avenue and Kendall Drive, as obstructing the Killian Parkway interchange. The project included noise abatement walls along the corridor. This project was completed in 2012. Current construction is 874 Don Shula capacity improvements between Kendall and Palmetto. This is being added by additional lane both northbound and southbound from 826 to Southwest 88th Street. The project also includes noise abatement walls along the corridor. It is anticipated that this project will be completed by early 2014. The Miami National Airport Central Boulevard project provides improvements to the entrance and exit of the Miami National Airport. The separate commercial and passenger traffic with the introduction of service roads to accommodate the commercial vehicles. The project also reduces congestion and improves the vehicular traffic of the airport. State 836 Road Palmetto Interchange are currently also under construction. As a partnership with the Florida Department of Transportation, MDX is working on the reconstruction of this interchange. This project will lead to the reduced travel time for drivers, provided direction to these expressways, and the installation of new technology, new bridges, beautification of roadway, and many more improvements. For more information on this project, please visit www.826.836.com. You can questions on the box on the right side of your screen. Please keep your questions or comments on the topic of this webinar. If any other questions related to this project or MDX in general that is related to this webinar, we're happy to respond via email once the web is complete. At this, I'll ask Deta Garcia to assist me with
Received any questions to date. There is a question as to how many attendees we have. We have presently 16 attendees. I'm sure as the evening goes on, we will have more. Since we haven't received any questions on the topic, we have some frequently asked questions that we would like to read on the air. One that we receive all the time is, will road tolling on 836 or any of the MDX expressways be like the on I-95? And I will have Marie CFO answer the question.
Good afternoon. Regarding the I-95 project, I-95 is considered a managed lane. ORT will utilize similar technology, but unlike I-95, there will be the ability to exit and enter the expressway system as you do currently today. That would be the only difference between the and the I-5 project uses more racing as the lanes become the toll will actually go up and down for the toll pricing of it. Our pricing will be a standard pricing per gantry, and that will be all day.
Received a question from Jay Walker that reads, in the future, the lanes, will these roads be made wide enough to help those?
Assistant Director of Engineering, and the improvements that are being programmed under the current approved work program do a future envelope for the managed lane system on 836. So further construction would not be required. It will more likely be a reading of the existing system to allow for the managed lanes, but the roadways would, the improvements would address the future capacity.
Have a question from Nelson Andrade. How are local messengers couriers supposed to survive with all these tolls? Schaefer, CFO, will answer the question.
The question of tolls will be for each mainline gantry. You only pay a toll for the use of the expressway. So if you use the entire expressway system, you will pay cents per mainline gantry. If you get off prior to that, you will only pay for the stretch of road that you utilize. There's going to be several options to pay. Some are more frequent commuters will pay SunPass, utilize SunPass, which will have a differential from the toll by plate rate. And the authority is currently contemplating putting in effect a discount program that will be in effect 6 months after we go live on 836. And I ask the public to look to the website for more specifics on that customer discount program.
One request, if you are having questions that you would like to answer in the air, please use your box computer to write these questions. After the webinar, then you can send them to public comm at MDX way. But right now, please send them here so that we are able to answer them. Question from Enrique Gutierrez. What impact will these projects have on our air quality?
Once again, improving the system and improving travel times, you are in effect improving the emission output of your vehicles. So by allowing or by putting these projects in place and improving travel times and travel speed, you would actually be reducing your emissions.
Question, Mario from Milo's Crowd. Will the slides be made available after the presentation?
Yes. Tomorrow the presentation will be posted on the homepage of our website, which is www.mdxway.com.
Question from Enrique Gutierrez also. Highway capacity with each add?
We have programs have 6, which is where the majority of the projects are programmed. You're at a add 1 lane of capacity in each direction, along with operational improvements, as was mentioned in the presentation, with operational improvements to the several interchanges along 836.
This is a follow-up question from Jane Walker. In other words, and this is regarding the question on any future managed lanes on MDX Expressway. In other words, would these rate hikes will pay for the pavement, and they will go back to resize these to make hot lanes? So we pay for the road and then pay for the road again. Is this correct?
No, that's correct, because the roads already be paid for under this work program. Any necessary modifications for hot lanes would just be piping, and no new pavement would be added.
Question from Enrique Gutierrez. How long would each project take to build?
Well, this work program now allows us to build all the projects fairly together. The average length of project can range anywhere between 2.5 to 3.5 years.
Well, we receive more questions. These are some frequently asked questions. When was the last toll increase in MDX system?
Marie Schaefer again. The toll adjustment went back in 2006, and the ORT 836 toll rates are not contemplated until 2014, so that'll be 8 years.
I frequently asked questions. Choose what projects you will do. This is Terry Garcia, and I will answer that question. We depend on the studies made by the Metropolitan Planning Organization, and they identify on a yearly basis through the long-range plan future needs for the county. Use population numbers and growth from the planning department. With that, we study then what is within our system and how we can then assess the needs. And we go through a systematic planning study, which are called project development and management study, to make sure that all the environmental impacts are addressed. And then as funding becomes available, then if it is a viable project, if impacts can be mitigated, if it financially sound, has support the community or consensus from the community, then we proceed to the next phase. Frequently asked question: is all electronic tolling only unique to MDX? We're going to have Steve Andrew, Director of Operations, answer that question.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Steve Andrew, the Director of Toll Operations. The question is it unique to MDX, and actually no. Many toll facilities throughout the country and the world actually have converted to all electronic. In the United States itself, we were the third. Texas and Denver were locations that converted to all electronic before MDX.
From Jay Walker, clarification. Staff recommendation was proposed to be 60 cents. Referred to by Javier Rodriguez, Executive Director. Can illuminate why we are talking about 70 cents now. Just as a point of clarification, the reviews and the public hearing and what the board will consider will be changed from what was approved on March 19, 70 cents, to a 60-cent toll rate. Juan, would you like to add something to that?
Just for my benefit, the question is, the original recommendation was 60 and the rate that was approved was 70. The original staff recommendation was 60, was our approach to all the improvements was to phase them out, and then all the projects in a phased approach. Our wanted to impact our board chose to, or want their to have whatever these projects sooner to impact the public once, instead of doing construction for 15, 20 years. They wanted to do it in a shorter period of time. In order to do that, in order to bundle these projects together, the 70 cents toll rate was the way.
Question from Nelson Andrade. That MDX does have funds from the state, tax, property tax, etc. Why does this be implemented to all who own vehicles and are subject to do or another use the highways be taxed? Well, various ways of, Mr. Andrade, of financing roads. Those are one, gas tax is something else. Within our jurisdiction, we can finance improvements to our system through tolls. But any other alternative be in the hands of other officials. If that's what being looked at. So MDX can't make those changes by itself.
Yes, again, wanting to kind of elaborate a little bit more. It's a good question, and truly it plays to local authorities, and actually it comes down to being a user fee. So in what you're stating, only people that use the road are the ones paying for it. If you've never road, pay for it. So it's not a tax. It's everybody, a citizen of Miami-Dade County. It's anybody who wants to use the road and benefit from what it provides.
Follow-up question, Steve. Why drivers, motorists who work out of the county and use our roads causing congestion aim for tourists?
It's not that we're taxing them, it's we're charging them to use the facility and being done. So any guys on the road pays the same amount depending on the amount that they travel, the distances. So and I guess the question's answered that we are charge everybody the same amount.
Is from Charlotte Terrell. I'm Killian. If I go north, south to my office on US 1, I pay going and coming every day. Is it possible for those of us who live at the entrance to these tolls to get a discount?
Yes, again. Again, the authority is currently evaluating a discount program, and that will be in effect at the 6 months after we go live on 836. And it will be similar to a structure of a volume discount. Specifics right now, but someone who uses roadway on a daily basis will reap the benefits of having a discount back to their SunPass account, either on a monthly or a quarterly basis.
Question from Nelson Andrade. If there's tax on your registration on tax, if you own a vehicle, you are likely to use the highway as such. There's definitely a on yearly registration. Doesn't receive any fund from that tax. This is from Jane installing managed lane infrastructure on 836 on the pavement. We'll start and then let Juan add. This is an alternative that we will need to study for the future. We do not have and have not performed any studies or costs as to the specifics of the cost of managed lanes. That is incorporated in our future long-range plans. Then we can develop that information. Another question from Walker. Has anyone talked about putting light rail on 36, or has it been studied? Would it be allowed to enter into P3 arrangements for something like this? In the 1990s, the Department of Transportation did an environmental impact study for the east-west corridor. In fact, went from FIU airport and from the airport to the Port of Miami. After the Department of Transportation completed this study, the Miami-Dade Transit Department also then looked recently, and these studies were in the 1990s, 1993 to 96. The Transit then further looked in 2002, 2004 at the same segment going from the airport to AU. This is known as the East-West Corridor that received a record of decision in 1998. My Transit have at the time for this East-West Corridor, but some did go through 836, and absolutely, if there is any possibility of funding this, MDX would really participate. MDX. What will be taken to protect the environment? Juan?
Well, as earlier, all of our projects go through a PD&E process, a project development and environmental study, and all environmental impacts are mitigated through that study. So all of our projects include all necessary measures to make sure that we don't negatively impact the environment as we develop these projects.
Another question. Walker. Are lanes or managed lanes included in the 2035 long-range transportation plan?
Steve, Andrew, they are not. We're looking to put them in the 2040 long-range plan. We're with the local District 6, the together a master plan for the network of managed lanes that will through Broward County into Miami County and connect all of the major expressways. Carlos
Garcia, if lanes or managed lanes are eventually installed on the 836, 57th Avenue and 27th Avenue, will just pay for this toll increase be giving a discount? We have to give our capacity with the increase. The specifics of incorporating managed lanes in our system have been studied or analyzed. That needs to be incorporated first in the 2035 long-range plan, so that we can proceed with specific to answer these questions. Can we pay for tolls by some
Steve Andrew, I guess to put it simply, there's really two methods outside of the cash going away. Once we read the cash component from our system, you will have ways to pay. One will be SunPass, will definitely be the most efficient and least expensive way. The other is the toll-by-plate program, which is by SunPass and us collecting the information and sending you an invoice via your license plate and the registered owner's information.
A question from Carlos Garcia. What is money from this toll increase on 836 being for the 874 ramp connector project? I was under the impression that the open road tolling on 874 would fund this entirely.
This is for again. The way we utilize our revenue is that we are bonding entire revenue system-wide, so it's not specific to any one particular project.
This question from Jane Walker. Can you explain what changes are happening in the back office regarding billing? What that? Is it a central office that will be put together?
That would be, I guess, one of the components looking for the future, and this is really to go statewide. It's an initiative where all the tolling authorities are looking to put one office solution together. It allows us to an economy of scale to keep our costs down, but it allows the users that not only from SunPass, but those who receive by plate bills to get one bill, one consolidated bill. And I have to put a perspective to it, say for our tourism, many utilize the road driving in from out of the state and come down to use the Dolphin. But to give you an idea, you come to the state of Florida from Jacksonville and you actually come through and decide to go to Orlando. So you go there for a week and you spend a week at Disney and drive the roads there. There are some toll facilities in that location. You decide to drive down to the Keys, and on your way you utilize the turnpike. On your way down, take a side to go to South Beach, so you hit 836. Go back and you go back all the way north. Well, at that month cycle, you would get one bill with all of your tolls from the state of Florida. And that one way would reduce the cost, so they're not getting customers will receive individual bills from Orlando Turnpike and MDX.
This question is a general question. Is MDX making it easier for people to add a SunPass? Mario will answer that.
This is Mario Diaz. Yes, MDX currently have a promotion where we are giving away a free SunPass for those who come to MDX to activate an account on dates and times. Those dates are, and they're also located on our website if you don't have the ability to write them all down. So those dates are June 10th between 5 and 9 p.m. Today, June 11th between 6 and 9 p.m., June 15th between 10 a.m. and noon, June 18th between 4 and 7 p.m., June 8th between 7 and 9 a.m., June 4th between 8 and 11 a.m., June 5th between noon and 3 p.m., June 6th between 4 and 7 p.m., 27th between 10 and 6 p.m. We also have dates for the month of July at a later time. Also to point out that various locations throughout the county and the state of Florida. A person can activate or replenish their SunPass account with cash at kiosks, at various gas stations, or retail stores. You can visit sunpass.com for those stations that are nearest to you.
This question is again from Jane Walker. How much will be loaded on these SunPasses, and how much are you going to give away?
This is again, we are not pre-ordering these SunPasses. A person would end up coming to MDX. We will give them the free SunPass Mini, but they would end up having to load that SunPass with either cash or credit here in MDX.
And we will be able to activate them with cash or with credit. You do not need a credit card in order for us to activate the SunPass. And
we will give as many as are needed per those who come to MDX.
This is from Nelson Andrade. The studies that are being conducted on road congestion, how is it being done? A regular motorist would only use the roads to and from home work, but a business motorist would actually travel those same roads 4 or more times to get to and from their jobs. Juan, can you address that?
Well, the studies take into consideration, existing traffic in our systems and future traffic bans, and we'll use traffic modeling to determine the necessary improvements to the system. The modeling in itself does not take into consideration a young user using the facility multiple amount of times per day. That usage is factored into the traffic demand or the traffic numbers that we gather to use the information to do the modeling.
Well, other questions and further questions on the issue at hand, which is the toll rate changing from 70 to 60 cents, or consideration by the board on this on June 18th at the public hearing. When will the implementation of open road tolling will take place on State Road 112 and 836?
This is Mario Diaz. The construction of that conversion will start this summer in 2013. That those, whether it's 70 cents per main line or 60 cents per main line, would not take effect until the summer of 2014. So probably a year from now.
This is from Nelson Andrade. I pay education taxes and I don't have kids. Why will other motorists not pay a road tax even if they don't or won't use it?
Yeah, you do. You pay every time you pump your vehicle. There's a gas tax associated with it. Unfortunately, MDX, the toll authority, will not take or receive any of those taxes. So it's really, we only get the users pay as a user fee.
Another question, will one pay more?
Some users will end up paying less, some users will pay the same, and others will definitely pay more. It all depends on the distance of the expressway that they travel. One for is those traveling between the Florida Pike and the Palmetto Expressway currently pay 75 cents at a toll plaza near 97th Avenue. It would be reduced to 70 cents. So the person making that trip would end up paying less in that instance. Traveling the system between the Palmetto and do not pay anything under the new tolling rate. With a new tolling at a new tolling point near 57th Avenue of 70 cents. So it all depends on the distance that the person travels. But everybody will pay their fair share for driving on the expressway.
Other general question: how are projects funded? My first CFO will answer.
Yes, as stated here, MDX primary source of revenue is toll revenue. We do not receive any tax, sales tax, or any funding from the state or from the county. The toll revenue is a primary source of revenue. We are able to use that revenue as collateral in order to fund the projects over the long term. So the benefits of the projects are delivered earlier, and the use of that project and the repayment of the loan is over the life of the project. Similar to a mortgage where the collateral is offered to the bank to secure the loan, to fully MDX offers a projected revenue as to pay the bondholders back the principal and interest.
This question is from Nelson Andrade. If taxes could be collected from other sources, would this ultimately decrease the toll? Is something being done at the state level to implement such a tax?
Andrew, that's an interesting question. I don't see where there's going to be any tax money that the state would be willing to be able to us for paying our projects or the current bonding that we currently have. Hard enough today for them to even meet the requirements to make the maintenance payments on all the other roadways that they're supporting. So, I don't think that's ever going to happen. But if for the case, and we had $1 million they're willing to go send our way, sure. I guess the bigger question that you need to look at is that if you think about of all unfunded needs, there is enough today to pay for what needs to be done. And we're going to adjust by looking at the kind of what would improve and provide the most efficiencies around a system to mobility. And selected the projects that, based on studies that were conducted, will provide the most for the least amount that we're able to spend.
Marie, this is a follow-up question from Jane Walker. Please explain defeasing, and also, after you have dealt with that $15 million, are there other bonds that are variable rate? MDX has about $1.2 billion of outstanding debt. $241 million of it is variable rate debt. Back in 2004, $240 million issued on a variable rate method. At that time, the variable was a lower interest market than fixed rate. In order to get our cost of funds down, the authority continues to manage its debt, and one of the things we opted to do is actually early defease a portion of the $240 million of variable debt in order for us to save on our interest costs. Mario, there are other questions that deal with concierge towing service or other types. These will certainly answer them via email, as they are not focusing on the topic. Mario, on the topic itself, can you please remind the participants when the decision will be made at the public hearing and the details of that?
Yes, all the comments and questions related to the topic of this webinar will be put and given to the board for their consideration. On June 18th, after a public hearing which starts at 4 p.m. here at the MDX headquarters, and MDX headquarters is located at 3790 Northwest 2 Street, Miami, Florida 33142. After that public hearing is concluded, the board will then take into consideration a motion is presented to them, a lower toll rate of 60 cents on the State Road 836 mainline gantries. It is at that time in which the board if the 60 cent, just as a clarification, if the 60 cent does not pass, the toll rate will remain in effect as it was approved on March 19th, 2013, which is 70 cents per mainline gantry on State 36. At this time, we would like to thank you for attending MDX's first ever webinar. Should you have any further comments or questions, feel free to email us at publiccom, that's publiccom, at mdxway.com, and you could do prior to June 17th, as June 18th is the public hearing, as I mentioned. We do have a public review meeting, which will go over all this information presented today, tomorrow at 11th here at MDX headquarters from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. So all information presented during this webinar will be available in an informative info meeting here at MDX, or you can send us your comments via U.S. mail to MDX, attention Mario Diaz, that's me, at 3790 Northwest 21st Street, Miami, Florida 33142. Again, thank you for your attendance, and please submit your questions or comments to the email should you have any further. We will to answer questions the webinar is complete. Thank you very much. At this time, we'll be disconnecting this webinar.